Hey, hi, it's Meredith. I'm here with our message for Friday, the 9th of October, 2020. We're back with Sawyer's Path Tarot. I'm just really enjoying the vibe off this deck, so we're sticking with it. Our first three cards from the bottom of the deck, this is the overall theme of the message today. Our first is... Hello, Scorpio, the Death card. Go figure. I love this card. I know it. I do have to say most people cringe when they see it, though the true meaning of this card is simultaneous endings and beginnings. So one thing gives way to make way for a new thing. So that's something to be celebrated. It's also indicative of energy that is passing out of our sphere of influence. Yeah. So there's energy there that is no longer relevant or of service to us, and it's on its way out, cycling out. Now we have the beautiful sun there in the background. It is setting, but that's a brand new horizon and we're sailing toward it. So the new energy on its way in has some sort of invitation on it to that horizon. So what's there? What are we in discovery for? The Three of Wands. Here's a message that's been coming for us for a couple of weeks now about two things making a third thing. So we move from the Two of Wands, where we step through a gateway, a portal, to a new world of experience. You know we've done that. That's shown up on repeat for us. And now the third wand is beginning to build in this new realm, in this new world of experience. So isn't that a lovely flow in the cards? You know, I'm drawn to the white rose today on the flag because I do feel a purity in the energy. And quite recently, the energy atmosphere has been testing us in the form of influence from other individuals and their anticipation for what they've come to know as a traditional response from us. And we've been tested in the way that how that's received and the potential drama that it incites for other people can have an influence or an effect upon us. And the purity of that white rose on the flag on the death card today is confirmation. It's support that we've maintained our groundedness on our foundation. We've remained consistent and true to the sovereignty of what we hold in heart space for self-relationship. So while experiences, energies, situations, circumstances, and the influences of other people have come before us, we have remained steadfast to our own selves, which has allowed us to keep our love and our happiness on the firm foundation that we've built for ourselves. So here we are with the Three of Wands, continuing to build even more on that. It's beautiful energy. All right, next, yeah. Here's the Magician again. I believe he was in yesterday's reading too. Make what you want a reality. You know, don't be dazzled, don't be charmed by illusion. And that's just the energy that I'm speaking of, that the cards have been bringing to us consistently. It's interesting when we come face to face with another person's expectation or anticipation of us and our responses. And the Magician carries with him a message of distraction within illusion. And there are times when we are face to face with someone who has an expectation of how we are going to be, how we once were. They expect we will be that same old way, and we're not. The other person's reaction, response could be just that, charming, trying to lure that old way of being out of us for their own sense of familiarity and comfort. But the magic in this is the Death card for us and how we have made changes. We have allowed for the simultaneous endings of old ways of being, programming, so on, to move off the foundation. Distraction right there. Just realized my shirt's on backwards. Sorry. You didn't quite need to know that, but it's funny for me. Anyway, so there it is. The magician can dazzle and charm and disillusion in the form of illusion, and we've maintained that steadfast energy for our own selves, which has brought a whole lot more purity to the energy field sphere of influence for us, which then creates the opportunity for the Three of Wands. Okay, moving on to the rest of the reading. Oh, nice. And we're starting out here on this end of it with the Sun, happiest card in tarot. There it is. That's the kind of magic that we're making as we cross the threshold of the Two of Wands into the new world of experience. And that's where we make our magic and our miracles. That's where we make it stick, because we have the fuel of the Sun, which has been showing up quite a lot in the readings for us, and not just on this card proper. It has been showing up on a lot of cards in the background. And, you know, but for example, just take a look at the Death card. There it is. Coming with the Sun is the King of Wands. And what a beautiful king to see here, because, you know, he is happy, he's gregarious, he's also charming, and he's passionate, creative, and driven, motivated. He takes action on his passion. So his passion has a lot to do with what he holds in heart space, what he's nurturing and growing there. And there's no moss growing on this king. He is in motion and movement. You know, the King of Pentacles is a little more still, a little bit more contemplative than perhaps the King of Wands. Though any action the King of Wands takes is still contemplative. He knows that it's going to turn out well. So I love that we have the Sun here with this king. There's a lot of fire, a lot of passion that we're bringing to our inspired ideas. The Suit of Wands really does bring up our enthusiasm, the inspiration to use our skills and our talents. They really shine in this suit. So the Sun, brilliant clarity, pure loving, happy bliss, connection, communication, all right there shining on this king's mastery of bringing his inspired and passionate creative ideas to life. So that's on offer to us in the day, and there's a whole lot of space for it on our foundation, because we have the Death card sweeping away energies that are no longer relevant or of service to us. Sweet stuff. And what are we doing? We're in the Eight of Cups. That's great. Momentum. You know, all the eights bring motion, movement, momentum. This particular 8 connects us to eclipse energy. We have one coming up in November. So check that out. I don't have details on it right now. I will look that up, though, in my moon diary, so that we can speak on it a little more eloquently as this card shows up in our readings. Okay, so eclipse energy. It is present for us in the card. Now you can go back 18 months-ish with eclipse energy, and you can fast forward 6 to 18 months for the upcoming eclipse. This is change. This is energy that we are being exposed to that we are not typically exposed to. So when it happened up to 18 months ago in eclipse seasons then, and you know, I'm now thinking last year at this time, we were saturated in Scorpio energy. And we have the Death card, which is also Scorpio energy. And it is possible that at the retrograde and the astrology of that time last year is having an influence right now in this Eight of Cups. So at the time, we may have been feeling like we were in a great space. Now we're moving into an even better space. Some of the influence and inspiration of that comes from Scorpio season last year and what was going on then. So if you keep a journal, if you keep a diary about this stuff, have a look back at it, because the Eight of Cups is the Ace of Cups to the power of 8. There's a lot of motion, momentum, movement, and it is likely connected to what was going on last year at this time. So go into meditation with that today and consider it, and just see how you have been blessed, how your journey has expanded since then. Coming with, look at this, another wand, and it's the Knight of Wands back again, and he was in yesterday's reading too. So I like this flow because we have the sun-inspired King of Wands in momentum with energy that was blessing us perhaps a year ago at this time, and being handed off to the Knight of Wands. Now, as I pointed out in yesterday's reading, this knight has a sight line. It's drawn in here to the artwork on the card. I hope you can see it. It's a bit faint, but there it is. And it shows us that he is being driven within his mission. He is extremely motivated within his mission. You know, he's carrying some of the magic of the magician and the magic and miracles that are taking place within our sphere of influence, on our foundation in the Three of Wands, you know, blessed by the mastery of this king, and in alchemy with the energies that are still influencing us from eclipses over a year ago. Where's it going? What's he doing with this? Why is he the chosen one that this energy is being handed off to? Ah, perfect. Oh, how perfect. And look, here's another sun on the card. So it's 4 times over now in the reading. There's a lot of sun influence within the reading. And now we have the 7 of coins. Traditionally speaking, this is a card where we potentially run into some frustrated waiting, because here we have this beautiful garden. It's in blossom. It's not yet ready for harvesting though, and there can be some impatience on the harvest. The message of this card though is, first of all, it's a 7, so it's heaven touching earth within us. So we're experiencing heaven on earth, and that's something for us to remain mindful about as we encounter perhaps some of the impatience typically depicted on this card. So here we are tending this crop, looking forward to the harvest, which was likely planted over a year ago. And look at all these blessings. This is what is fertilizing this crop. The blessings fertilize it, make it grow, right? This is our magic and miracles on the vine. My feeling is that we are reaping the rewards of these blessings. They're not all in. They haven't come to fulfillment exactly yet, though they're in process. This is a card that reminds us to savor. So take the day, take the weekend, and do some reminiscing. Think back to a year ago. What was going on? What was unfolding for you? How were you responding, reacting to all of that? How are you different today? What have you considered differently? What energies have you identified that were not of service to you? Again, death card, right? Next. Ooh, look at this. Another 7. So same message applies, heaven touching earth, right? I sense that we're having an answer to all of the questions that I was just asking, inspired by this 7, because now we have the 7 of Swords. This card is called the Thief, and it is really quite indicative of how we can be robbed of our joy. And if you'll notice, we've got the sun there again. So more brilliant clarity. So the sun is shining on and bringing you clarity for the things that would rob you of your joy. And I feel, in answer to that question, or those questions rather, we have upgraded our energy so that we are not being robbed of our joy. And we've done that over this past year. We've been doing it, we've been doing it for years, but if we're taking just a snapshot of so-called time off this reading and looking back to Scorpio season last year, just take a look at everything that has shifted, grown, developed, been in deeper consideration, having greater expansion and awareness, and you will see how you've shifted it yourself. So beautiful. What comes next? Another 8 in the suit of wands. Here it is again. More movement, more momentum, more motivation, more inspiration. You know, this is a card that's super stable. It's incoming information. I feel that it is a channeling card. This is a download of information that we receive through our intuitive gifts, like magic. Also, it is the unifying of energies. So there's a bit of alchemy, a touch of alchemy on this card. This is, I feel, also a message of what we were speaking about earlier on, our sovereignty to self-relationship, our steadfastness within self-relationship, and how we have that now on offer to the most important relationships right in front of us now. So I feel that this knight is actually looking to the harvest that is blossoming, that is becoming, and that is quite literally swiftly incoming. There's not a lot of waiting to be done here. It's really all about allowing. And that may be where we have found some of our greatest joy, because in allowing, the divine hand of the universe is able to surprise and delight us in ways we could never have anticipated. All right, next. There he is. You know, he's one of my favorites, the Knight of Swords. This guy cracks me up every time because he's, well, he's exceptionally motivated, and we can thank him for that. And, you know, I feel some stability around him. He's not a periphery guy. He does not look into the periphery. We need our psychic intuitive gifts for that, and we have it all day long. And if we need any more of it, we've got beautiful Scorpio energy over here in the Death card to provide exactly the kind of intuition required when you're dealing with the Knight of Swords. So he's going to get us to our destination swiftly. Right next to that Eight of Wands, it's impossible not to. So this Seven of Coins, the harvest there is closer than we think. I feel a great sense of stability coming from this king because he was handing off something very precious and important in the journey to the Knight of Wands, who's considered one of the more impetuous knights in tarot. And, you know, the Knight of Wands has a sight line right into this harvest. And he's showing us that in prior days, we may have robbed ourselves of our own joy by rushing. But what comes along right after it is the swift moving energy of the Eight of Wands. So it's coming quicker than we realize and being handed off to the biggest rusher of all, which is the Knight of Swords. I don't even know if that's a word, but it is right now. We're going to use it. He rushes. He is swift. He is deliberate. And where's he going? Where is he taking all of this? To our last card, the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles. Right through yet another gateway, deepening our quest even more. This card is all about great love, great opportunity, a solid foundation for us. So it's a divine and cosmic gift. This is the surprise and delight of the divine hand coming into the reading saying, I have so much more for you. You add this ace to this seven, you get the Eight of Coins. So that means that the work of your soul, message of the Eight of Coins, is going to be upgraded even more because we've made way for it on our foundation with the Death card and by engaging the magical, miraculous heaven on earth within our own heart space. Yes, that's fantastic. That reading, you can watch this one 3 times over. It'll take you through the whole weekend, my friends. All right, let's do Angel Answers. Ask a question if you have one. Let these cards be an answer. Falling out of the deck, peaceful resolution. I do feel that some energy is coming into fulfillment. Something that may have been at a loose end is being tied up nicely, peacefully. A resolution that is beneficial to everyone involved. And it has a lot to do with how we are sovereign within self-relationship. It is our steadfastness that inspires peaceful resolution. Next. You know it's one of my favorites. There it is. Let go. Let go. Go with the flow because the flow is in the divine hand and you can't go wrong with that at any time. All right. Next. Okay. My all-time favorite. Big happy changes. This is a celebration time too. These, whatever's being tied up, whatever loose ends are being tied up, producing peaceful resolution allows for letting go. And in the letting go, it's the happy that makes the big change for us. We're becoming pros at this. For as much as that kind of message is on repeat in these readings, you have to know that you're gaining a level of mastery with it. And then our last card, ask your angels. If you need any divine guidance, certainly reach out to them. They are there for us at all times. Okay. Affirmation from the universe has your back. Oh, nice. This is a great card, a good summary. I recognize that I have chosen fear. I choose again. I choose love. Yes. So perhaps if you do the review, the hindsight, as suggested by the Eight of Cups in the reading to Scorpio season last year at this time, you will see just how much you've grown, expanded, and developed in choosing love, and how that has made a world of difference in self-relationship and a world of difference in all of your other relationships. Thank you, as always, everyone, for watching. Do know it is deeply appreciated. All your likes, shares, your comments warms my heart. So peace, blessings, happiness to each and every one of you, and namaste. See ya.